so too large of a gap, and they just say they laugh at all this efforts. Welcome to TNT Homesteading. Join us as we continue to expand our off-grid life here on our 10 acres in eastern Oklahoma. Hey all, welcome to TNT Homesteading. This is Terry. I've got a few hours this afternoon and I am going to see about working on getting this screen door installed. Weather is supposed to be warming up. We're finally out of this big deep freeze that we've been in, and we still have some places of snow on the ground, and that's melting today. It's supposed to be in the 50s today, 60s tomorrow, 70s the next day. And if anything we learned a couple weeks ago is it won't take long for the mosquitoes to show up or the flies to show up. And so I think if I can get the screen door installed, that would be a great another step of getting things taken care of. So you can see the basic gist here. I'm going to frame this out. I need to add the support on that side so we can put the hinges on it, because we want it to open this direction against what's going to be a railing once we finish up the porch here. So we want this side open, so it's going to open this direction. I will have to do something with the corner, either notch out the 2x8 or notch the corner of the screen door. Of course, I'll have to do something up there and enclose that little section above the door. And then over here, once it's all framed out, I'll put in a railing, get tin the rest of the way to that, and put screen in that section. So that's the plan, and we'll see how much I get done today. So I've decided to go ahead and notch out the 2x8. That way the integrity of the door stays in place. I was afraid weakening that corner might make the door more flimsy. So I'm just going to sort of do to there what I did over here. I just shouldn't have to cut out quite as much. So I'm going to cut that out, put an upright 2x4 upright here to put the hinges of the door on, and then I will put at least a 2x4 across for up there. If I've got a 2x6, I think I'd rather use it. Degrees, mid 50 degrees, sure gets hot when you're working in the sun, but that sun sure feels good after all these days of cloudy weather we've been having. But I'm making progress. So I've got the upright in place, knocked out the wedge, and I framed in where the tin will attach to. I've also, have the beginnings of where the screening will go right there. I will double check with my bride and make sure she wants screen there and not something else, because you could hang stuff there if it wasn't screening. So I'll find out from her before I do anything on that. It's looking better already. I just have to, I'll attach that in a minute with the hinges and stuff, but I want to finish up that little section above the door before I do anything else. I am going to see about probably getting a 2x6. I think I've got some scrap 2x6, and I can go up and down all the way across, put in some screws to secure that up there. Well, I'm making good time actually. I talked to my wife and she liked that idea of making a little wall there. So as you can see, what we ended up doing here is you should have seen where I put up a piece of wood, and then I've put the tin all the way from the bottom all the way to the top there, just to make it all look the same. On the inside, I went ahead and put a piece of wood there instead of the tin like around the bottom. That way we can hang up stuff there if we want, with some thin small screws. One thing we've had for a very long time, we've had this old wooden ammo box for quite a while, so it fits almost perfectly. So we'll probably be putting that in there. One thing I'll probably still go ahead and do, and I should have done this a minute ago, is the railing that I've got all the way around. I'll probably go ahead and do that here as well, just to unify the look around the room instead of it being different there. But I'm almost out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and install the door. It is sort of a tight fit, so my concern is as the wood gets wet with moisture and whatnot, it may want to stick. So I may have to get a plane and sort of plane those down a little bit. We wanted it close because the whole point of this room is to keep the flies and the mosquitoes and the stuff out as much as possible. So too large of a gap, and they just say, they laugh at all this effort. So I did want it sort of tight. So let's get that door in before it's time to go back to church. Well, I got ahead of myself. As I put the door up here to start thinking about the hinges, I realized that metal is covering up where the hinge will go. So I'm going to have to take those screws off, pull that metal back, put the hinge on there, and then put the metal back on top of the hinge. Not a huge deal, but a slight hassle. I am excited about this. It's done. It's in. The door latch did come with a little latch where you can lock it from the inside. We may do that. But it works. My wife's mother used to have a rule growing up that if you slammed the screen door, you had to go in and out 10 times without slamming it. If you did slam it, you had to start all over. And even testing this, my wife is like, in and out 10 times. But we're excited. It looks good. A little bit more work to do in here. Like I said, I'd like to put a piece of the decking along this little shelf like I did everything else. At this point though, I just have to put up my tools and not slam the door. The hard part will be tomorrow morning when I'm getting up and getting around and getting coffee without slamming that and waking her up. So it's been a couple of days and I got the screen porch finished up. You can see that I got the 2x4 put in here. You already knew about the porch itself. Up at the top of the railing, you can see I've got my 2x4s in there as well. And it looks really good. Inside, you can see the other side. Now there are still spots where critters could get in, and I may take care of those as necessary. You can see that one. I may still do that one anyway. A little caulking probably is all I need on that. But everything else is actually really pretty good. Obviously with doors, there's gaps around doors, so I'm not sure it makes any more sense to do more. I do know my wife made some deviled eggs in here the other day, and not a single bug was disturbing her, and she loved it. So anyway, that's the porch. So we'll do a little bit more in there. We still have to do something on the inside around the screening to just sort of clean it up a little bit. But that's not necessary to keep the bugs out. That's just to make it look pretty. Anyway, y'all, thanks for watching. God bless. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.